Channel members will notice that this episode of the series, the finale if you will, for the High Roller project, is a completely public video, and I mentioned ages and ages ago that the start of the project and the end of the project would probably be publicly available for people to see, and then all of the juicy stuff in between of actually building it would be the members section exclusive. And of course, that can only mean one thing: we're done. 330 days is the total time for Project High Roller to go from being two separate vehicles to one new MOT'd, taxed, insured, road legal project. This is now my Rolls-Royce Centaur, or as I call it, the High Roller. Why do I call it the Centaur? Well, I like the idea of it being a kind of mythical name, as Rolls-Royce often likes to use, Ghost and Seraph and all these kind of things. I think Centaur kind of sounds like one of their names. I certainly think it sounds a lot better than Cullinan, that's for sure. It sounds like a kitchen appliance. A Centaur was man on top, horse on the bottom, and to me that describes this car perfectly. It's a gentleman on the top and a workhorse underneath, because those who are completely new to this is a crazy looking thing, and I will be doing a more traditional Beards and Cars style review for this car later on, possibly even this week. But this basically started as an idea which was to salvage an otherwise very bad car. I picked up a Rolls-Royce, it was in very bad condition, and rather than putting tens of thousands of pounds into just restoring it to being essentially a vehicle which I didn't care too much about anyway, a Silver Shadow, I thought instead, why not put my money where my mouth is and actually make one of these cars that I've been asking for manufacturers to do for years. I've always been saying, and many of you have heard me say it, why don't more manufacturers make cars that are modern underneath but look classic? To me that combines the best of both worlds, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. So that's exactly what we've done. Underneath is a 2007 Mitsubishi Warrior, and on top is the complete chassis. So this is not just a body swap, it's a twin chassis vehicle, a complete Rolls-Royce monocoque frame and interior on top of the ladder frame of the Mitsubishi Warrior, complete Mitsubishi drivetrain, so it's a 5-speed auto, turbo diesel, 4-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive with the locking diff and the high-low ratio box. Like I said, automatic main box for that cruiser appeal, and I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details of all of the build because of course that's in the members section, and technically you could join and be a member for only 1 month and see all of it if you wanted to, as well as the 120 plus other videos which we've done. When it comes to this particular car, this is a massive milestone. This is by far the most expensive automotive project I've ever done. It also happens to be my first automotive project, so that's not really saying much, but even then, the total cost of this one was up around £30,000, and that includes buying both cars, so about 14 grand for the two vehicles and about 16 grand for the build. And to get it all done in 330 days, well, that's pretty rapid. Anyone who's tried to build a project car, even just a motor swap or something like that, knows time can very easily get away from you. And although some of the participants wish to remain anonymous because they don't like people asking for favours, I do want to send out a big thanks to the 5 other guys who were involved in making this a reality. My crazy dream, 6 including myself. I did a bit at the start, bit at the end and a bit in the middle, and then we had it in 2 different workshops along the way. All of this of course is in the series anyway. But yeah, it's a project which to my knowledge no one has ever done before. Of course people have jacked up Rolls-Royces. Those of you who know your rally history will pretty obviously see this is inspired by the Jules Corniche which ran in the Dakar Rally. Technically mine is actually more of a Rolls-Royce because that one is just a fiberglass replica, but very similar idea, and the whole purpose was I wanted to have that kind of classic charm and the comfortable interior, but with a way more practical, way more reliable, way easier to repair vehicle underneath, and of course with far better fuel economy, and in the case of mine, an enormous custom fuel tank. In fact, the fuel tank in this car is about 35 gallons, and that's UK gallons, so 160 or so litres. In other words, at motorway speed, you're looking at nearly 1,200 miles of fuel range. If you do live anywhere in particular in the south or the southwest of the UK, chances are you will probably see me at some shows. I am going to be officially debuting this at a couple of shows coming up. I'm planning to go to Refuel soon, and also to the Haynes Breakfast Club in March as well, so for any who are in that kind of area, I may go to Rustival 3, and that's up near Birmingham, my homeland. It is a massive day for me to finally have this as a real functioning vehicle. The car is officially sponsored by Genelite. I reached out to them and asked them about using their product on the car, and they were more than happy to do that, so I will be doing that in future, how to apply the Genelite underneath your car and the kind of results it has. And yeah, it's one of those things which kind of became a running joke at shows. Oh, is it finished yet? Is it ever going to get finished? Well, it is now, and it's pretty badass. So of course stick around for the Beards and Cars review. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you do want to check out the rest of the build, of course check out the members section on the channel, as well as tons of like Gran Turismo 2, Forza 1, Forza 2, Project Cars, various other things that are coming up and that have already gone, and I'll see you next time with more. But for now, thanks for watching.